One of the other things, of course, that you do is as an executive advisor. And how many people do you work with when you're an executive advisor, and what are some of the things that you do?
Well, I only work with 5 executives at a time. So at any one point in my schedule, there's only 5 executives who I'm supporting. They get priority attention from me. I return all phone calls within 90 minutes. I return emails within 24 hours. And I help them with a variety of things. I can either be totally invisible, their silent partner behind the scenes, a sounding board for them to bounce ideas off, someone to brainstorm, someone to bring in best practices, and they can take all the credit. So I'm like an insurance policy in their pocket. If there's a challenge or an opportunity, they know that they can call on me. Or I can take a much more public role. I have worked with executives where I have met with potential partners. I've been part of ceremonies and events where my job has been to have conversations with potential allies or people who are currently partners and understand how to develop their roles so that it's of more benefit to everyone involved. So I can kind of either be behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. What I bring to it is I've worked with over 100 executives so far, so I have a lot of experience, and oftentimes when someone's in hot water or there's a particular challenge, I've actually been through the experience and I can share some scenarios. The other thing I can do is I can help advisors or I can help the CEOs that I'm working with to capitalize on opportunity. Sometimes the circumstance shifts, they're not sure what to do, and I can help them to see the gold that's in the moment.
Excellent. And that kind of answers my next question, is why someone would hire you, is you have this vast amount of experience and things that that you've done with other executives.
Yeah, so I'm bringing to bear all of the experience in all of the organizations that I've worked with and funnel it primarily to the benefit of the individual that has hired me to be an advisor.
Now, when someone hires you as an advisor, how is it? Is it like a retainer, or is it just one-time thing? How does it work?
Yes, it's a retainer. They pay me a monthly fee, and I'm available depending on the circumstances they need. In most situations, I'm available during regular business hours, but I have had people put me on retainer to be available round the clock. Sometimes there can be other time zones, or there can be an urgent situation. Sometimes they may need to do preparation for an event on Monday morning, and they fly me out to work with them on Saturday to help develop it. It just depends on the needs and the circumstances. Sometimes they use me a lot. I've worked with executives who put me on retainer, and they're on the phone and email with me continuously throughout the entire time that I've worked with them. And other times they've just brought me in for 2 or 3 really important scenarios where my input makes a critical difference.
And to that, I guess, let's say there's a CEO out there, or maybe an advisor to one, or someone on their staff, and they're watching this, and they say, we could use somebody like that, we're not really sure. What would your advice be to them, and why is it that they would want to use a service like this?
Well, first of all, they could give me a call. They can call my office, 301-229-2221 in the United States, or send me an email, seth@visionaryleadership.com. And if they mention that they're interested in the executive advisor role, then I will get back to them in the same time frame, within 90 minutes during regular business hours, or 24 hours by email. A lot of times I will have an executive try me out. They may sign me on for a month to see if they're able to get the quality of contribution that would actually make a difference in their work. And if someone just wants to talk about it, I'm happy to do that, over the phone or face-to-face if they're local, and share with them exactly how it works and what kind of benefit they might receive.
Great. Well, Seth, I'd really like to thank you for joining us today. Man, it was a great experience and great to sit down and talk with you. We don't get this chance very often. But thanks again for joining us and sharing your wealth of knowledge and experience with us.
You're welcome, Don. It's always a pleasure to work with Wherl.
All right. Thank you.